Oops. Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 168. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I'm one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. Lift Heavy Run Long has an app, and we want you to be on it. For $3.99 per month, you can be part of that app, and with that, you will have access to the greatest endurance trainer in the world, Ms. Valerie Hunt of RunRx.fit, and she will deliver to your calendar 3 times a week, 3 bodyweight exercises, 4 times a week, 4 barbell strength exercises, 4 daily WODs, and you will be added to the Lift Heavy Run Long community on the app. For $9.99 per month, you'll have access to all the programs that Lift Heavy Run Long has to offer. Everything from 5K programs to 100-mile programs to Spartan races to triathlons. The goal of Lift Heavy Run Long is to bring fitness to as many people as possible, as inexpensively as possible. So if you or someone you know does not have access to $3.99 a month and you think that fitness would enhance the quality of your life or their life, email me at wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. We'll be more than happy to add you to the app free of charge. Go to www.liftheavyrunlong.com. Click the sign up now button. Look at any of the programs. You can sign up for any of them for 1 free week. Simply enter your email address. And if you like the app, you can sign up. If not, it just goes away. I have, sitting to my right, the most fantastic woman in the world, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, Jacked and Tan.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
You are doing great.
Yes.
Tell me what constitutes great.
I don't know. I feel good. Got a lot of rest today. Experienced an awesome time at Tunnel Hill this past weekend. So my life is good.
I would imagine we're going to talk about that experience, aren't we?
For a minute.
Good. Probably for 60 of them.
Probably for 57 and a half minutes.
Right,
That's what I'm thinking. We have to Amanda's right, the Reverend Vaughn Ross.
I'm glad to be here.
How are
What's
you?
up, Vaughn?
I'm good.
Good.
Like shoes.
Oh, thank you. These are my Brooks Adrenaline. Brand new. I love these freaking shoes.
They are good looking. You get a lot of compliments on them, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, people ask me what they are, but more importantly, when I run in them, they feel really good.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like them a lot.
Have you worn Brooks before? Or is that
I've never owned a pair of Brooks. And I only bought them because Brian Williams ran in Brooks, I think.
Really? And you saw that and you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
And did it come free with a bottle of Ozarko bottled
Right.
water?
I know. I got my own cheap plastic bottle sitting over there behind you.
We have absent from us is big thirsty Brian Swanson.
I know. He
Yep.
bailed on us at the very, very
last
last
minute.
It
Yeah.
was the race he ran, the 16 miles that he did at Tunnel Hill. He needed to recover.
And he said, I just can't podcast.
Yeah, he
I
can't walk.
get up. It takes the camera manning takes a lot out of him.
He didn't take my advice about getting a wheelchair.
That was it.
He should have gotten a wheelchair.
Or at least a luggage rack.
We could have just wheeled him right into the...
We could have done that.
Yeah.
We do need to make this wheelchair accessible because the day will come sooner than later that one of us will be in a wheelchair. I'm thinking it will likely be me.
I mean, I feel like it's wheelchair accessible now.
You think it is?
There's no stairs or anything.
No, there's a step up,
but there's
though.
a step.
Well, you'll have to learn how to ollie your
Yeah.
chair over that. You bunny hop your
Kick it up.
wheelchair
kick it back
over
and
the
hop,
threshold.
Before we get started, I want to do 2 things. Well, I want to do one thing twice.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to read reviews because we have 2 of them. I'm going to make it quick. This person was here for the cup, but they missed the cup. The Driven Nutrition Shaker
Nutrition
bottle,
cup.
which I finally mailed
Good.
to Tim.
Good.
which I had, I forgot. I forgot for 2 days. I told him I'd mail it by Friday. I did not. You know how I am when I say I'm going to do something, how like important that is to me.
Yes, I know.
And so I dropped the ball. Well, then, my car doo-dooed out. So driving my big chemical truck, pulling it into any parking lot's a pain. So just wasn't able to do that. So I mailed it to him last week and had to handwrite the package.
Oh, that's serious problem.
The address, and Amanda wasn't there to do it. Amanda handles.
Well, he'll probably save that handwritten thing for future.
It's probably somewhere in Bangladesh because they thought it was like Chinese. Amanda handles all my penmanship problems.
Of course, she is great penmanship.
And not only am I bad, but I'm even worse now because Amanda's done it for the past 6 years. So I don't know. All right, this review is titled "Here for the Cup." I've been planning to write a review for a while, but like everything in life, it seems like I need a little extra nudge. The Shaker Cup giveaway was just what the doctor ordered. The LHRL podcast is exactly what you need in your life if you need the motivation to keep pushing forward in your running and lifting goals. These guys are always honest about where they are in their fitness journey, and it is refreshing to hear from normal people doing their best through the ups and downs. Keep up the great work. Dylan Hinches, Forest Lake, Minnesota.
Well,
Minnesota.
Is MN Minnesota?
I thought that was Maine.
MT's
Maine.
Montana. MI.
Boy, that could be any number of
Maine,
things.
right?
If Big Thirsty was here, he could tell us.
ME is Maine.
ME is Maine, yeah.
So it's not Maine, it's Minnesota.
It's
then.
Minnesota.
I believe it is.
I think I was right the first time. Don't question my geography.
Look at that. Some guy.
You don't know anything about a map at all.
I feel bad.
I don't.
I feel bad that he came for the cup and he didn't get a cup.
I know. Send him a cup from your house.
If he wants me to wash my cup, I'll run it through the dishwasher and package it up and send it to you.
Well, mailing those things is not inexpensive, let me tell you.
Right.
They're heavy,
I can imagine.
yeah.
They are. It's a nice cup. You should go to lhrl.life/driven and get you one.
Everybody's saying it's Minnesota. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, well, here we go. Sillamore Sasquatch, which I believe is our friend Chris Miller.
It is.
Who has also
Yeah.
left a review before. So I think that you can go and leave another
If
review.
you just change your email address.
Is that what happens?
I think it's your email address that it's tied to, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you can only leave one review unless you change your...
I believe so. You have to log into iTunes, right?
I guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah,
You have
I'm
to
sure you'd
log
have
in.
to. Says it's his favorite podcast. What better way to end my Wednesdays than by listening to 3, sometimes 4 of my favorite folks talking about life and fitness and enjoying an icy cold driven nutrition protein shake. Thanks, Amanda, Wilson, Vaughn, and Brian for putting out great content on a weekly basis.
Well, maybe we need to get Driven to send us another couple of bottles.
Yeah, if you can get them
And
to.
see if we can give them.
We'll do another contest.
Do another contest.
Okay, well, somebody else has to mail them because that's a bitch. Doing anything outside the regular scope of life for me is a no. And that's becoming more and more all the time. Like, my number one priority in life is to get back home and do nothing. I think I've become more, I don't want to say antisocial.
Like a hermit?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my ultimate priority, I'm stuck on this friggin' app, man. I can't drop it with this Lift Heavy Run Long app, so I spend all my time learning computer programming. All of it.
So when you get this app finally completed, what's going to happen in life?
Nothing.
With you?
Everybody's going to be happy.
He's still going to be
No, but
obsessed
then, like,
with,
what's going to
look,
happen when he, like, completes it? Like, what's your...
I'll get into quilting or something.
He'll make another project that he wants to do.
Okay. I just don't want you to lay down and die or anything on me.
Well, I will. If I don't have something, then I will.
Okay.
But
He'll come
y'all
up
help
with
me
some
find
other
me
thing.
something.
Okay.
I'll get into
I'm going
spelunking.
to teach you how to groom dogs so you can cut Charlie's hair.
There's a thought. I might enjoy that. And if I do, then I'll be wanting to groom every dog I can find. I'll be the Byhalia groomer.
He'll
Yeah.
he'll go run the IT department at some fancy company somewhere.
We go to work together. You can work at IT at Methodist.
That's right. He'll go run your hospital
Yeah.
IT.
We have one person in our department.
Speaking of IT, this isn't really IT related, but you gave me your Apple Music playlist for the world's greatest aid station that you put together.
We can't get to it because we don't have
4.5 hours of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to
How
it.
do I get that to Spotify?
Yeah.
Is there a
Oh.
way to do that?
We
Or do
don't
I
have
to
the
just
Apple.
copy it?
You don't have Apple?
I mean, we have
You don't have
iTunes,
iTunes?
but it won't let us play the things we don't own.
So when you sent it to me, I was like,
Oh.
hell yeah.
Yeah, we were
I'm fixing to
excited.
get on there.
I see. Because
and it
I
played
subscribe
like
to it,
3
I
songs.
can
Yes.
listen to it and play it, but you don't subscribe to it.
Right.
So now I have to figure out how to make a Spotify playlist
Yeah.
from my iTunes playlist.
Right.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Can you do that?
Hey.
Man, that would really be.
Yeah,
that
that's
would
a
be
really good
gift.
playlist.
That would be a
Yeah,
gift.
yeah, I can do that.
I need
Yeah, that would be a
playlist.
labor of love. If you did
It
that,
would.
that would tell me that you care about me as a person.
All right, Tunnel Hill. We'll talk about Tunnel Hill. My nose is running. It's cold in here.
We're going to talk about Tunnel Hill. This weekend, we went up to Vienna, Illinois, and we participated in the Tunnel Hill 50-mile, 100-mile race.
You left on Friday.
Left on Friday.
How long does it take to get there?
Made the 3.5, 4
3.5,
hour
4,
drive.
yeah.
Amanda and I enjoyed each other's company. She did some work on her computer, got some stuff done.
Yeah.
Stopped by Dodge's Chicken.
He was
found a
excited.
Dodge's out there.
Nice.
And then
You got some pizza logs?
I ate one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
are so good.
Yeah, I got the boneless buffalo wings.
Okay.
And then we went and met up with like 16 of the world's greatest people.
Oh, yeah. Y'all had a big table full of folks.
Yep. Let me tell you how Amanda does it, which is the way to do it. She calls Logan's. Is that where we ate?
Yep.
She calls Logan's Steakhouse at noon. She says, I want to make a reservation for 12 of us at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And then she hangs up the phone, and I said, is everybody good for Logan's? She said, I haven't talked to anybody. I was going to make the reservations,
That's
and
just
anybody
where
that
we're
wants
going.
to come
Right.
is welcome to come. And I was like, that's my girl right there.
The more people you get involved in the decision, the worse
Yeah.
it gets.
That's right. She just cut out the
It's
middleman.
like, hey, we're going
all
here.
together.
If you
Like,
want to go,
we're
go.
going to be
If
there.
not,
We got room for 12. She calls back. She says we need 16 or whatever it was. And there we are. And we all sit down together. Some of us, we have so many people like in the community, like Shanna Stangler, who I've never met. Elijah Landon. I've never met
he's
these
from
people.
flew from California.
Yeah.
But it's like I talked to him. I've been talking to him for years.
Right.
So I really had to step back and be like, I've never met Shanna personally.
Yeah.
Like we've corresponded through my blogs and Lift Heavy Run Long for so long. And Elijah, who's like, I feel like he comes to my family reunion every year, but I've never actually laid eyes on him.
Right.
So it was awesome to sit down with these people and
That
get
is
to know
very
them.
cool.
And so we're all like excited about it. And we eat, we go home, we wake up the next morning, and then 7 a.m. we're off to the races.
What did you eat at Logan's?
I got a
Ribeye. didn't you?
ribeye
A
and
some
fries.
kind of crusted. No, you were gonna get that, but it wasn't big enough. Right? You get that
No,
spice.
they did.
Oh, okay.
It was big enough. It was actually bigger.
Okay, like a Cajun
worked out better.
encrusted, whatever.
Yeah, some
something.
kind of Cajun encrusted.
Yeah.
I was going to get the burger. She told me I'd already eaten a burger. That I need to get the
I
steak.
had a burger yesterday.
I could eat burgers every day.
So that's what we got. And of course, the ribeye, the prime rib, they didn't have it.
And that's, of course, that's what I
That's
was
what
wanting.
Amanda was going to
Of
get.
course not.
Yeah.
You can only come at like 4 p.m. in the afternoon or between 1 and 2
Yep.
and get the prime
That's
rib.
gone. We had a good group. Took a picture. Sent it to you
I saw
because
that.
you were wanting that picture.
Yeah.
And so we decided that the number of people participating versus the number of people crewing is like 4 to 1.
Really?
Like we got some crewing mojos out there.
For sure.
So next year, we're just going to have like the golden child. There's going to be one person who runs and 99 people who crew. And every
Right.
person is going to run 1 mile with the person. Is the
Dude,
direction
there
it's
you go.
going.
I'm going to run that 100-miler again next year.
And just pick up one person each mile. That's the way. That's the way
right.
it'll go.
Well, a race director should just pay us to bring crew for someone.
Yeah. Crew for hire.
That's a good idea.
LHRL crew.
Kind of
Yeah.
like the glamping of ultra running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we'll be
Yeah.
we'll take care of all your needs. You don't need anything. Just show up with your Ozarka water bottle
yeah.
and we'll take care of everything else.
So our runners we had was April Hilston and Kathy Kramer. Alan, I don't need to do last names. 'Cause I don't think I know everybody's. Alan Couch, Crystal Landers, Wilson Horrell, Dan Wolf, or Wolford, Dawn. I'm going to get this wrong, Dawn. You're going to kill me. Standby. I had it spelled wrong on my phone. She got on to me. Rachel.
You gonna mess that one up too.
McCagney. Oh,
I'm not sure.
Elijah
Elijah
Landon.
Landers. And then
Elijah Landon.
Oh, Landon, yes. And then
You shouldn't have started with last
I know.
names. That was your
I'm just gonna
fault.
quit. Shanna and Kimberly.
Okay, good.
And of that list, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people running 100 miles.
Who all ran 100 miles?
Elijah, Dawn,
Kathy and Alan.
Kathy, and Alan.
Let me tell you something. That 100-mile stuff that's a long ways.
It is a super long way.
I don't see how you did it, dude. Do you ever stop? How often during the course of a week it has to be?
I think about it at least once a week. Yeah.
I would have said that the over under would be. I would have said 20 times a week. There has to be a time, at least 3 times a day, where you stop and
There's
say,
a lot of that,
dude.
because-
That was weird.
And I'll tell you why, because at work, I work at an ad agency, so they made me this giant card, and everybody in the company signed it on the inside of it, and it says "Run, Vaughn, run" on the outside, and it's all designed up and got a shoe and all this stuff, and it's sitting right there on my desk, so I see it all day long, and I look at the signatures inside of it, and people are like, "Good luck," and "You're running 100 miles, you're nuts," or whatever. And so I do think about it a lot. So I see that card all the time, and so I several times a day I can say that I do. My mind wanders over there, and I start thinking about something that happened or whatever, and it's just crazy.
Well, every year I get a different taste of the Tunnel Hill experience. And this year it was watching all of them. They were so fired up about crewing people.
Right.
Like they couldn't have been, I don't know if they were more fired up about not running the race or the act of crewing people, but they were very happy. I know Gary Owens could not have been happier about the way that his beer tasted the night before with the knowledge that he didn't have to screw with that the next day.
Yeah.
And everybody was just so excited about that, which for me, I guess I'm just such a selfish person, or I'm such a high anxiety person. I wouldn't be able to sit there for that long and wait for people to come through. And then when they did come through, I wouldn't know how to help them. So I would just kind of be.
Most crewers were pacers at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So that gave you that.
So there's Sam and Holly and Steve, Teresa, me, Brian, Kathy Owens, Gary Owens, and Coy.
And who is Coey?
That's Crystal's husband.
Okay.
Who is like the MVP.
Yes.
Right.
So he shows up.
And he's not a runner?
No.
He's not around. He could give a shit about it.
And he smokes cigarettes.
He's just a baller.
Am I getting that?
He's a big dude. You look at Coy and you say, I'm not fucking with that guy.
Is he the guy that came with her
Yes.
to the podcast and we were like, who's that?
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he turns out he probably walked 35 miles through the thing. Elijah said, my Coy smoked 10 cigarettes.
That is so funny.
While he paced me. That's how rock and roll this thing was. It was so cool, man. That is
wild.
There were so many people doing awesome things.
And
to help
then
people out.
Shauna's husband, Steve, jumped into crewing. And you look over and he's helping people do things, getting stuff out of bags. And it was great.
You talk about a way to change the way that you look at somebody quickly and in a profound light. Like Steve, I met Shanna's husband. He was a nice guy. Seemed like a really nice guy. But then when you come in at 36, 38 miles and you need something and somebody's like running to go get it, then you immediately feel a sense of kinship with them. And you're like, that's my guy. Like that guy's in my pocket.
Elijah said that Coy ran probably half a mile with him as well.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Coy gets into running.
I know. Yep.
If Coy's not doing it next year.
Yep.
That's the way it works, man.
It is the way it works.
You get to know the people and you get comfortable with the people. You find out what the community's all about, and then you're sucked into it.
The temperature was good this year.
Yep.
Perfect running temperatures, I think. Those of us standing around, it was a little cool, but we were ready for that.
Were you standing around all night long, or did you go back to your hotel room? Or
I was there till the end. Other people, so April, when she finished pacing her 50 with Dawn, went back to grab a nap. Teresa went back, and Brian had gone back to nap. But I wasn't. I slept in the car waiting on Dawn to come back to Karnak for about 2.5 hours, and then got out and got ready for her. And then after that, I was going to go to Tunnel Hill and sleep for about 5 hours in the car, and then get up and pace her in. That's the plan.
Gotcha.
But what do you mean you're there to the end? We were on the road coming home at like 10.
To the end of Dawn finishing, or
You were there to pace
Till Dawn
You were-
finished.
yes, till the
Okay.
end of Dawn's run.
And Dawn dropped at mile 66.
66. Foot problems
That's painful.
that led into gait problems, which led into IT and hip problems.
It would take so little of it just seems like everything would have to go perfectly well to make it through 100 miles. I mean, one thing going wrong, one blister, one whatever. I mean, I always have 100 things go wrong. You know, I can't get my head around 100 miles. I tried every time I run a distance. I think like this time I knew that Amanda was going to be out there. I didn't have anywhere to be. I'm going to be running with Alan. So
I bet that was fun.
it was fun,
Yeah.
but I couldn't keep up. I just never kick because I crap out the same place every time. It doesn't matter whether I go out too fast or whether I go too slow. I just get tired and I crap out.
Did you run the whole 50 miles?
Like run?
No, I mean, did you
I finished the race.
He did,
you
yeah.
finish the 50-mile race?
Yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
did.
How long did it take you?
15 hours and like 20 minutes.
Well, that's not bad.
Yes, it is bad. That's really, really slow.
not-
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's the same shit every year. You know, it's 14, 15, 16 hours.
It's okay.
But it doesn't
you
matter.
Finished.
It's totally cool. Like, I mean, it's great to be able to run a 50-mile race. My point is not to put myself down because I just love being out there. It really doesn't make the whole timing of it is very not important to me in the scheme of things. What I'm trying to say is it's unbelievable to me that there are people that run 100 miles. It's mind-numbing. So if I was going to run 100 miles, I would have had to run my 50 miles and then turn around and do another 50 faster than I did my first one. So Alan and I are running together. Our goal is to come in at the 50 miles at under 13 hours. 12:59:59
Right.
would have been great. So we're going, he probably starts not feeling well before I don't feel well. So in my head, I'm thinking, man, this is going to be really hard on Alan because I'm feeling pretty good and he's kind of wearing down. So we go from minute on, minute off to I think we started trying to do like 30 on, 30 off to we did 30 on, 45 off. You know, we're just trying different things, you know, but we're getting consistently slower. And then we got to the halfway point and not much further after that. I was like, you go ahead. And he said, is there anything I can say to make you speed up or keep going? I said, man, you just got to go. You know,
That was about 25 miles or whatever.
28 miles, 28,
Okay.
29 miles, something like that. So he gets to the point to where he's on the clock. His estimated finish time is like 34 hours.
Yeah. I was watching him because they had that predicted finish time.
Oh,
He's done.
And he's slowed down so much, he was predicting 33:30 or something.
So, I mean, I passed him. We came through like when you pass the Tunnel Hill aid station and there's like 2 miles before you hit the turnaround and come back up to the Tunnel Hill aid station. Basically, you go in that hole, like it's starting to get dark.
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
man.
So I passed him and he was in really good spirits. You know, like he went out of his way to like pat me on the back. He's like, you okay, bud? I'm like, I'm good. But in my head, I was thinking, I'm so sad for Alan. He's worked so hard and, you know, he's just not going to make there's no way he's going to make this time. And then, you know, I get home and I see where he's at 34, 35 hours, whatever was his expected time to finish. And he's a big guy, you know,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he's
is.
6'3", 250 pounds. And, you know, then it's like I wake up the next morning, he's still in the game.
Yeah.
And then he's at 32 hours and then he's at 31. And I thought if he's got it now. Like he is so stubborn. If he's still alive and still on his feet at this point, he's going to handle it. And he did, man.
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about 70 miles of struggle.
Oof.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
And then you take Elijah. Elijah was counted out
Yeah.
100 times
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
And he just kept plugging along. He showed up with nobody. Elijah just
No
shows
crew.
up to run
Yeah.
100 miles.
Just 100 miles. Yep. Crazy. He is a badass.
He is a total badass.
Yeah, he is.
That dude
Very
is-
proud of him. Man, it's just, he's such a sweet guy. It was nice to meet him. I never heard him complain. he was just like, this is, he came in when I was waiting on Dawn and Brian to do the wildlife turnaround and come back to Karnak. He came in, he was kind of standing there in a daze, staring at the food on the table. Went over, grabbed his bag, filled up his water. He grabbed some food, had him sit down, and he was just talking about how beautiful everything was. The woods were beautiful. He was enjoying the peace and quiet and just the run that he was doing, and it was never, I'm tired, my feet hurt, nothing. It was just a smile on his face and how much he was enjoying it.
He did. That dude smiled the whole weekend.
He sure did.
And they gave him his buckle.
They did.
And he earned that motherfucker, too.
Yes, he did.
Really cool.
Without question. And that's Steve Durbin.
Durbin he is a good guy.
That was a judgment call on his behalf, and it could have gone either way, and I'm sure that Elijah would have,
I'm sure that he wasn't expecting to get it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would have been fine with that.
I would have not expected to get it. I think that they tore the clock and the finish line and everything was gone.
Yeah.
It looked like from the video.
It was.
And so that guy stuck around and waited and gave him his belt buckle, which is pretty awesome.
And that's a guy that understands what Elijah's just been through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what's so cool about it. It would be one thing if everybody just got a belt buckle. But clearly Elijah was going to suffer through it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going anywhere. I mean, if it would have taken him 40 hours, it wouldn't have made it. Elijah would have done it with the full knowledge that he wasn't getting a belt buckle. He would have stayed out there and finished that race, even if everybody else went home. And that's why he got the belt buckle.
Yeah.
And nobody can take that away. Nobody can say, well, you didn't finish within the time. It doesn't matter. That wasn't his race.
100 miles.
He got the belt buckle from the guy that puts on the race.
Yeah.
Incredible.
He ran 100 miles.
And Alan Couch wanted to finish that thing so badly simply because he never wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
Really?
He made it clear, like, I am doing this race because I want to get this checked off of my list, and I never want to feel the obligation to run the Sylamore 50. I never want to feel the obligation to do anything, to do any of the distance stuff. And that was his ticket out. And, when you accomplish that, it's like I tell Lisa Barker all the time, I can't believe you ran 100 miles. And when you accomplish that, there's a lot of things that you've earned the right to never have to do again.
Yeah.
So good on both of those guys, man.
Oh, good on Tunnel Hill for their aid stations were amped up, and they had a shit ton of food at every single one of them.
Yeah.
They had
usually
warm
do that,
soups and stuff. They ran out last year.
I don't know if they usually have as much hot stuff
They had
this
hot
early
stuff
as they
at every
did.
yes. They had soups and stuff at every aid station. They had hot sliced potatoes. They had pancakes and bacon. And,
Yeah, I had one that had bacon.
yep, they really amped that up this year. They really kicked ass on their aid stations.
Nice.
When y'all were at the aid stations, were y'all looking for anybody that looked like they needed help? I mean,
Yes. I know Holly and them crewed 4 or 5 people. They didn't know. I helped a couple. There was one guy that came into Karnak that he just sat down in the middle of the trail. Like he got a pancake and bacon and just sat down, very kind of disoriented. Went over to him, tried to help him. He said he didn't need anything, but I tried. He was on his phone kind of scrolling through. He did his thing and got up and left. But yeah.
Amanda got fangirled by somebody. I was like, can you go get my, she's like, what do you need? What do you need? What can I get you? What can I get you? And I was like, I think I need my bars. Like, I just want to eat my, whatever kind of bars that I had. She's like, okay, where's your bag? Let me go get your bag. And, meanwhile I'm talking to somebody else. And then I go over there and Amanda's just, some lady's like, da, 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 like talk to Amanda. I was like, all right, I'm just going to ride on. Like, I'm good. Okay,
Yeah, I felt bad. I saw you walking off, and I was just like, ugh. Yeah, this lady's like, I just have to meet you really quick. My husband's running his first 100 because of you guys. And
Oh, that's awesome.
I think she said his number was 117, I think. So
Somebody asked Amanda if they could catch her husband when he came past the 100-mile race. I thought that she meant, like, can you catch him, like, stop him and say, what's up?
yeah, she stopped Brian and I because we had our LHRL shirts on, and she was like, I'm in your Facebook group. She goes, I never comment though
Nice.
because I'm a hammer thrower. She's an older woman, and we were like,
Hammer
so
thrower.
you should comment. You say whatever you want. It's for everybody.
Plus, because throwing a hammer is like the coolest thing in the world.
I want to say we've had hammer throwers.
We have.
Speak up before.
And so Brian's like, oh well, Crystal Landers does the Highland Games or whatever,
Right.
and she's like, oh okay, and she's like, are y'all strong? We're like, I guess if you want to
Always-
define
just
strong.
always say
So-
yes.
yeah. And then she was like, yeah, my husband,
Pretty strong.
her husband was the lead 100-mile guy. He was finishing in 15 hours on the dot. And she's like, can you guys, I think it was 15. Yeah, it was 15. She goes, can you guys catch him as he comes through because he can't stop without falling down? So we were going to link his arm, and we were like, well, yeah, if Dawn doesn't come in, we need to crew her for it. Well, Dawn came in right before him, so we had to step off.
Oh.
And so I don't know who caught him because I heard
And
him
he
come
fell
through.
and knocked all his teeth out.
Oh, no.
I don't know who caught him, but we weren't there,
Broke his
unfortunately.
nose.
We were taking care of Dawn.
Died on his way to the hospital.
Well, I saw on Twitter today that Josh Holmes guy was there for Run It Fast.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's the guy that started. Run It? Do you know Run It Fast? I guess I just know whatever. I think he's got a podcast, but he ran in like 17 hours, the 100,
Wow.
which is it's like
Is he local? Is he from here?
no, I don't know where he's from. I think I don't know. He's like Twitter famous, I think.
I saw Billy the 100-mile slayer
Did you?
carrying his
Yep.
American flag.
Yeah.
I said something to him. He didn't have much to say. He's busy running 100 miles. when you run 50 the way that I run 50, that you have a little bit more for conversation than maybe someone who's done 35 100-milers in the past 38
this guy would
weeks.
leave me alone.
Yeah, really.
I enjoyed doing the updates while we were doing stuff.
That was awesome.
So I went up to Tunnel Hill, and at Tunnel Hill there was no signal, so I was like in dead zone for hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a bunch of pictures.
Oh yeah, I
And,
love seeing all the pictures.
So that was
was
good.
really
I took him over a little over 200.
That's awesome.
So I posted the albums on my private Facebook page, so y'all can pull them off if you need to.
If you're friends with the
Yeah,
doc.
if you're friends with me.
That's right. Which not everybody is.
That's right.
She does not just allow friend requests from any one person.
No, I have to know you.
We are very much different in that regard.
Yeah. Oh, I met Laz.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't talk about that. What was he doing there? What's that story?
So he sells his bags, the drop bags that he came up with. Like I think they're bright.
I don't know
yellow.
anything about him.
I can't remember. I don't know if they glow or if they're just yellow
There's
that they
something to
stand
'em.
out. There's something to them.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, he was there the day before at the packet pickup.
Okay.
Trying to sell his bags. Well, he hung out at the finish line for the race, and so he was just standing around talking to people, and Crystal had finished, and I was too shy to go up there because I saw him. I was like, I don't want to go up there and bother him. And she's like, hey, there's Laz. She's like, I want to get a picture with him. I was like, okay. So I go up there and we wait for him to finish talking to somebody, and super nice guy. She turns around and introduces herself, and I like snap one picture real fast. Like, I don't want to bother him. So I
Yeah.
took a picture, and Crystal's like, come on, man, do you want to get a picture with him? I was like, okay. I was like so starstruck. I was just like everything he said. I'm like, I couldn't even say anything. I was just like, "How are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm lazier than a sack of bones on the side of the road or something." And all I did was laugh. I couldn't even say anything else. Couldn't answer him. I felt so dumb because I wanted to tell him who I was. I was part of LHRL, and that we enjoyed all his documentaries that we've seen him, and I like his thought process on his races and how he comes up with those, but. None of that came out. Just
And Camille was there doing a running clinic.
Camille
as
was there. Yeah, she was at the finish line too. Was giving people hugs as they came across.
That's awesome.
And then when it was time for her finish, her 100-mile finish, they had her go out there and reenact her run
Oh,
in.
did they really?
Right.
So she ran in, again, and they were having a good time. It was fun.
Well, Steve Durbin and Laz are tight.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I was going to say they're best friends, as if I know them, either one of them that well. But yeah, they're tight, and you can find Laz at a lot of Steve's races.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I don't know how that relationship came to be.
Is that Steve Durbin guy? Is he from Vienna, Illinois? Like I just assumed it was some guy that.
No, I think he's
lived
from
there.
Memphis. I think he's from closer to around here, or Nashville, closer
Yeah.
to
Oh.
closer to Chattanooga, maybe, or Nashville.
Wasn't he Knoxville? Weren't you going to
Maybe
go
Knoxville.
out there? We were going to stay in Chattanooga and try to travel to Knoxville to talk to him. I'm
I
pretty sure he's
interviewed
Knoxville.
him for the Tunnel Hill documentary, and we had crappy audio, so it got scrapped.
Oh, okay.
So we did have people recognize us again for the documentary and stuff. They were talking to like Gary and Brian, and
I watched it again yesterday.
Gary Owens said that some guy came over to him and said, I had to come over and introduce myself. I watched the documentary, and he said he's a firefighter, and all his friends were firefighters. And he said, you see those 5 guys over there? All of them fat. Last year, fat. They watched the documentary. Now they're here running the race.
That's awesome.
Which is very cool.
Well, it's the first, like, if you do Tunnel Hill on YouTube, it's the first video that comes up.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So imagine if anybody's running that race, I do it, especially if it's your first 100 or whatever. You're going to Google the race to see what it looks like, or go to YouTube and try to find videos of it.
Yeah.
And like you can literally just go to YouTube and type in Tunnel Hill, and your documentary is the first thing that comes up.
I've never watched it again. I don't
haven't
think I
either.
could.
I watch it all the time.
Do you?
I haven't seen it.
I don't think I could. I think I would just bother
I go
myself
through
with
it
what I should have
fast.
done.
Like I click through it, but I watch it. I watched it again yesterday.
But a lot of people that I talked to said that they were watching it as they traveled up to the race. They're like, we watched the documentary while we were traveling up here again.
Well, it's funny. I can watch the video, and I can see myself in the beginning of the video, and I can look at myself when I'm sitting at the end of the video with my Tunnel Hill jacket on, and I can see the difference. Like don't know how to explain it, but I can see a mental difference. Like it's crazy weird.
That had to have been a lot on you going into that.
Yeah, it's just odd. Like
it's a strange amount of pressure to put on yourself for something as silly as that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it's extra pressure knowing that there is a documentary going on.
Yeah, that probably.
Looking back, if he had failed, he would have had to sit in front of that camera.
I wasn't going to fail.
And like,
there was
like,
no
well,
failure.
I tried, you guys, but
that wasn't an option.
But man, I could tell myself that for months and just be like, failure's not an option, failure's not an option, and hit mile 28 and be like, yep, I got to go
wonder.
home.
I mean, I don't know.
I just can't. I can't do it. I've tried to put myself there too many times, and I just think there's people that can and people that can't.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I was hurting. I was hurting. Like my ankles swelled up like this. I could not walk when that was over with. I could not walk.
Were they swollen up like that during?
I don't know. I didn't notice them being that swollen until I got back to the hotel room.
Because there's 2 people that, when you talk about Kathy Kramer and Dawn, those are 2 people that can, and 2 people that just haven't had the right experience to finish it. And I classify them as, I think there's people that can, and even if you can, you still need the right circumstances. Yeah. There's just so many things against you. 100 miles is just such a long ways that there's just so much that can go wrong.
Yeah.
I had...
Both of them will go out there and do it.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
Yeah.
Both of them will finish that race.
Yes.
Dawn just had the blister, and that's all it takes is you can only go so far on something like that. I kept telling myself, like, this is while after I'd already hit my point of done. And once I hit my point of done, there is no, like, I'm not coming back. I'm done. And so I'm walking and I'm thinking about how nice it is to have the experience. That ultra racing is a lot about, just having the experience of having been there. Like, I'm going to get through this. It's going to take a long time and this is going to suck really bad, but I'm not just going to lay down and be like, okay, I can't do this. But I had a dry heel. I've got like these dry heels, and like the crack of it just split. Just all of a sudden was like, like this really sucks. So then I took my shoes off and I took my socks off. And so I'm just walking with just shoes and no socks. And I was like, this is a terrible decision. Like, this feels horrible. But now I've got my Ingenie socks off and I'm not about to sit down and put these things back on. But I was just thinking about how somebody makes it through. I had 2 more miles to go. How do these people make it through 65 miles like that, or for 40 miles like that? There's just a toughness there that some people can look past and some people can't, and I can't. And I get sleepy.
Well, I didn't get sleepy because I had tailwind, and I mixed it so strong. I think I was just so.
Do you think that caffeine just kept you up like
I think
that?
so. Yeah.
I tried drinking 5-hour energies, and they didn't do anything but make my kidneys hurt. I mean, I could feel it in I don't even really know where my kidneys are, but in my stomach, I was like, ugh.
Okay, your kidneys are not interested.
Show me where they are. Show me where they're supposed to be.
They're right up here.
Yeah. Around there, like in the side of the ribs, right there. Maybe more around there. Pretty close. And then I took a whole shitload of naproxen. Like Amanda was like, you can't take more than this many at this amount of time.
I saved a lot of people's kidneys and livers during the race.
Well, I took a big dose and was like, oh man, that doesn't feel good at all. Like this wasn't a good decision.
You're already putting so much stress on your kidneys anyway by running, because you're processing breakdown of muscle, and so they're already like churning hard on that. And then you're like slapping naproxen on them. So
Didn't you have to take naproxen away from Rachel?
Rachel took some extra ibuprofen the first round because I didn't know, and so when the next aid station came up, she was going to take it again. And they were hesitant and said something. I was like, no. So I gave her 2 Tylenol instead.
I will take 4.
We altered it.
I'll take 4 ibuprofen.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Before the race, and I won't take any more.
Oh, okay.
And usually that's all I need.
So I usually, the night before, take either ibuprofen or naproxen. Naproxen's every 12 hours. So night before, kind of get it in your system. And then the morning of, before the race, I usually do it. And then I just time it out accordingly.
I took 4 Tylenol the night before. I took 4 Tylenol 4 naproxen and 2 Tylenol.
4 naproxen?
And the blue ones?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that's what you told me I could take.
No, 2.
Okay, well I took 4. And so then the next morning I took
can handle a little bit more pills, I suppose.
I took 4 more naproxen and 2 more Tylenol. Well, then about 5 hours into the race, I took 6 naproxen and 4 Tylenol. It was like,
no
damn.
wonder your kidneys were hurting.
Oh my God.
And your stomach, because that'll burn a hole in your stomach.
What?
It moved my kidneys from where right here to my
Why
stomach.
do you take Tylenol? Isn't that
So Tylenol's
what-
more.
I don't even know why you take it.
So Tylenol's more for fever, but it also has a pain.
okay? I'm thinking
helps with
ibuprofen
pain.
is like what is it called?
An NSAID.
Like inflammation,
Yes.
anti-inflammation, and inflammation is what you don't want.
Non-steroidal
Right, so-
inflammation. Yeah. So. So yeah, you take that, and so if you're still hurting, you can take Tylenol with that because it works on 2 separate things.
I
So
gotcha.
Tylenol is your liver, your NSAIDs.
Hey,
your
that's why you
kidneys.
can give your kids when they have fever. You can give them Tylenol, Advil, or ibuprofen, and then you can with more frequency. You can give them Tylenol
Yes.
in between so that they can have more relief. I
Yes.
just learned that.
There you go. Yep.
Really, what you take is Oxycontin. If you want something to work, but if you don't have that,
They
then
call
you
me
take,
the Oxycontin Ultra Runner.
That's right.
Oxy for short.
It's like popping oxys and smoking cigarettes while
Goes
they're going.
Oxy, smoking cigarettes and blazing down the trail.
I'm about to crude the shit out of some people.
Oh man.
Steve Wilkes says Jesus Wilson needs a kidney transplant.
That's funny. Well, we're going to Sillamore next.
Sillamore is up next.
So if you guys that didn't get signed up in the 4 minutes leading up to the sellout
Yeah.
of that race, and you want to go cruise some people,
Yeah, there you go.
there's a good opportunity.
we are going to be there. I'm running the 50-kilometer race, and we have 96 days.
Whoa.
Is that how long?
Yep.
That's not very well. It sounds like it's not very long. Ugh.
How much better of a runner can you become in 96 days?
With
Pretty good.
consistency and training, I
Yeah.
think very
You
well.
think so?
Yeah. So our LHRL programs are 13 weeks long.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
That
okay.
is 91 days.
That's very
Oh,
interesting.
look at that.
So today we're 96 days away.
Sign up
So
today,
that-
people.
So that means in 5 days I start my 13-week
Aha. Very interesting.
LHRL training program.
Wow. Okay.
I'm about to get down on some treadmill time.
Okay.
I'm psyched up about it. I know that y'all hated on me because it's not Sillamore. It's not training for Sillamore.
Well,
but
you
we're
just
gonna
got to
see.
turn the incline as far up as it'll go.
No, that's too hard.
It has a program where it'll do the,
Yeah,
take
do
you up different
that.
inclines and stuff,
Yeah,
like you're
no.
on the trail.
I'm going to run flat.
Do you run barefoot on your treadmill?
No shit, no.
Yeah.
Listen, we had tile for like a month, and I was like, I can't do hardwood floor.
You just can't walk through the living room.
I need cushion.
Okay.
My life needs to be I'm soft, man. I'm just a big softy. I want to sleep in piles of pudding and live a life of Jell-O. I want everything to be soft and easy. I was telling Amanda today that everything on my body hurts because when I sit and work on my computer, you know where I do it from? A recliner. It's like the worst thing in the world you can do. But when I sit in a chair, it's not as comfortable as sitting in a recliner. And so I sit in a recliner and I'm like, God, everything hurts. I'm so stove up and tight. I should sit in a chair. But I don't.
There's a girl at work who she sits at her desk like this.
Oh my god!
All as flat down as possible. And she said she bought a contraption so that she can lay in her bed and lay down.
Oh,
and
we were
type on
talking
her
about that.
laptop.
Yeah.
That
And
we can flip up and like the screens are up there.
She
so
said if
you
I
can-
could, I would just stay in my bed all day and work all day long laying down.
So, do you have a good computer chair? Do you have a nice chair?
I have a stand-up desk.
I don't want one of those. That's too hard.
But I have a decent. I don't.
That's the opposite of my life. I had stand-up desks. I got motivated. I went to Home Depot. I bought 4 crates and 2 slats.
You just rolled your own.
And I made a stand-up desk in my office, and I made a stand-up desk here. And I would sit in my recliner and look at my stand-up desk, but would never use it. You know why? Because it's uncomfortable to stand up and work. So I'm not going to do that. But do you have a nice...
You can do a stand-up desk, and they have you seen the mini treadmills that you can have at your stand-up desk for work, for your computer work?
That's
I
twice
have
as
They
long.
have a
we
mini
have-
treadmill. Well, you can do treadmill work, and you can do your thing at the same
There
time.
are.
I can't. Have you ever seen me run? You think I could run on a treadmill
No,
while
not run, but
trying
just
to type
walk.
anything?
We have some. There's a couple of people at work that have little bicycle thingies underneath their
Yeah.
desk
Yeah.
where they can just pedal while they work.
No, I don't want any of that. When it's time to work, I want to work. When it's time to be on a treadmill, I want to be on a treadmill. When it's time to be on a recliner using a computer, I want to
I
be
couldn't
on a recliner.
run on a treadmill and do my work. There's no way I could do that.
I can't hardly run on a treadmill and run on a treadmill, let alone do anything else. You ought to see me trying to change my music.
Well, I don't listen to music, so
Well, that's why I've started running on a treadmill because I like
'Cause you
listening
can.
to music.
why don't you just like hook a stereo up? You don't even have to wear headphones. Just blast the music like at the gym.
It's got speakers on that treadmill. I don't know how. It looks like it has Bluetooth,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's got. I don't know about Bluetooth. When I do it, I just hook my phone into it, and it plays to the speakers.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See? Watch out, Sillamore.
Look at there.
I'm coming with my
Treadmill training.
Treadmill training.
LHRL, treadmill training. 13-week treadmill. Beef will coach you. The greatest treadmill endurance trainer in the world. You got 6 days to write your program, and we'll start selling it.
Man, tell me how you got that 11-hour Sillamore finish. Well, you'll have to sign up for the program.
And you have to pay the race director to let you finish.
There was. He'll let you finish. He's fine. His mom will let you finish.
His mom will let you finish.
You got to
yeah.
get in tight with his mom. That's what I did. Back to my question. Do you have a nice programming chair? Do they supply you a chair?
I mean, I have an office chair, but I don't know that it's a very expensive chair.
You don't.
Everybody has the same chairs.
Is it comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncomfortable.
They have. I saw a computer programming chair that was like $6,000, $6,500.
It's not one of those.
You're not going to get that, are you?
I wasn't asking. I don't want that.
Okay, it's like, oh God.
I'm just saying that they have it where like you can lean back and you can put 3 screens on there. You can do all kinds of stuff, man.
Is it motorized?
I don't think so.
I could do that at work. I have to have 2 screens at work, and I could just lay back and kick it in rounds.
She just told me that I'm not going to get it. Now she's like,
I can get it. I get my
specking it out.
department to pay for it.
You think they'll get you one of those?
No.
Well, see if they'll get me one.
Well, you should see the chair I work at now.
They
You
know
think they're
me.
going to buy that?
They should get us both one as a couple.
So
What else?
you can do a 100-mile on a treadmill?
No way. I'm never going to do a 100-miler. I'm never going to do a 100-miler. I don't have any. There's no part of me that thinks that I've had enough glimpses into thinking, okay, maybe we'll see how that goes, and then there's reality. It's just too hard. But I am going to run on a treadmill a lot.
Well, good. It's a perfect time of year to do that. It's freezing cold outside today.
Yep.
Tonight it's going to be like 19 degrees and it's going to snow.
It doesn't get a whole.
Yeah.
It's snowing in Tunnel Hill. Lisa just sent me a text and said, y'all lucky y'all aren't out in this.
Well, somebody asked Elijah if he had made any snowballs, and he said he hasn't left the hotel.
I bet he hadn't left his bed.
There's
he
no
went
way
down
I
to
would
eat breakfast this morning.
He did?
He did.
I would have just peed off the side of the bed and had food delivered to me.
If my wife hadn't have been there, I wouldn't have been able to get home.
Yeah.
I don't know how there's no way I could do that by myself. Like if Holly wasn't there to help me get down to the car and all that stuff, there's no way I'd have been able to get home by myself.
I can't believe more people don't die doing those races, honestly.
Well, I'm surprised they don't have any type of medic help sitting there
Isn't
at
that
the
wild?
race. They'd have none.
Yeah.
Like if you fall out in the middle of the trail,
I think some
you're
of
dead.
them do. I think like the Western States 100 and those kind of ones.
Yeah, but Tunnel Hill
Like-
doesn't.
Yeah, I know. But like I'm talking about the major ones
the
that
major-
are like
yeah.
in the desert where it's like 100
yeah, for
degrees
sure.
and all that stuff.
Well, I was coming back into the Tunnel Hill place, and I don't know what happened, but I just started sweating really bad and getting lightheaded. And I thought, shit, I'm going to fall out. And
I took too much naproxen.
there's always a point in time where I think I'm about to fall out, and then I'm going to wake up and DNF. You know, there's that, like, I've come this far, I'm about to tip over, and then I'm going to wake up, and they're going to be like, load me
Yeah,
up. into
I
some
wondered that like
wagon.
in the middle of the night when there's nobody around. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and they're like, "What if I pass out?"
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody in an hour.
Yeah.
You know, like what happens if I just fall out?
That's like me when I was crawling when I was dying that first time.
And if
Yeah.
if the guy behind me is half as crazy as I am right now, he won't even notice me laying on the ground. He'll probably just run right by me.
He would.
He'll think you're just a figment of his I'm hallucinating.
And the guy's probably just taking a nap or something.
And then I wonder, every time that I always think about jumping off one of those bridges.
Well,
I'm not kidding you.
Kimberly said she was feeling like shit and she was going to throw up, and she was really excited when she got to the bridge because she's like, I'm going to throw up over this really tall bridge and watch my bar fall down into the water. And then she couldn't throw up.
Well, there was one lady that was on the side of the road throwing up. It was late at night, and I was concerned about her. So I said, "Are you okay? Do you need any help?" And she just like bit my head off. She was like, "Leave me alone! Like I don't need your help, man!
Man.
Like I'm like have the audacity to ask that
Right.
you need help, you
Yeah.
little lady."
Run your own race.
Right. I was like, I'm not talking to anybody else.
Well, you know, when they got late at night, even when I was waiting on Dawn and them at Karnak, cheering on people and stuff, they'd kind of look over and just give you like the most hateful look. It's like, good job, keep going, you're doing great. It's like, oh, okay, you're doing great, bye. But
There's a bunch of zombies.
you know, I get it though. I mean, you know, people were already, you know how people get the lean when they're like starting to like kind of
Yeah.
contort into there were people getting the lean when they were coming back into mile 66 at Karnak and still having like, you know, 36
Yeah.
mile, you know, they were already doing that weird contorted lean. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god, they ever got the lean, it's gonna be so bad. So
To me, it just seems like that as often as I think, and I'm not an 100-mile like loopiness, you know, just doing a 50-mile race and thinking about jumping off one of those bridges, that there would be more people that would just really jump off and be like, I don't even really know where I am, and I'm just going to take off all my clothes and jump.
I don't think there are a lot of people that do it to begin with. I mean, there might be a lot of people that run 100-mile races or whatever, but I think the type of person that is going to go to run a 50 or 100-mile race is not the kind of person that's going to go jump off a bridge
Yeah, maybe not.
most of the time.
Right.
You know,
Probably think about jumping off bridges.
well, it's like
more than
I'm
that.
not like many people.
Do you remember that guy from Memphis, the coroner, that wrapped himself up in barbed wire and made it look like he had been
do remember that.
attacked, and then he got busted out on it.
Yeah,
like for whatever reason.
Is he a
remember
wresler,
that.
the corner, or is it
Somebody-
No, he was a real
this
he was
was a
the
real
city
guy.
of Memphis
Yeah.
corner
Oh.
that staged his own
Somebody should
kidnapping.
do a podcast on that one.
And he may have done it multiple times. There may have been where anyway, he was on the front page wrapped up in barbed wire. He didn't have any cuts on him. He like very gently wrapped himself up, put like barbed wire in his mouth
Said
and on
he was
his
like
face.
attacked or whatever.
And there's a place on the Wolf River Trail where I remember doing Wade's Big Adventure the first year. And there's a big hole down there. And I thought, I'm just going to jump in that hole and lay down there to die and make people think that it was an accident. And, and then they'll be like, well, he would have finished, but he
fell in that hole.
He fell in that hole.
My goodness.
Poor guy. Bless his heart.
Give him an award.
And now give him give him a belt buckle.
He deserves a belt buckle.
And
for
every
falling
time
in that
I
hole.
pass by it, I think about that. And then I think about jumping back in that hole. And having a helicopter come and get me out and it being a big event,
So you're talking about somebody should do a documentary on that. I've been listening to all the Wondery documentaries off of like Serial, like the spinoff of Serial.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Man, they're so good. I just finished Jeffrey Epstein's.
Oh, I need to listen to that
It's
one.
good. And
What's
then-
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I started a new one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's where the stem cell thing goes wrong, and they package stem cells like basically poison somebody, and they're killing people. The injection vials are not sterile. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just not getting into that. I just started that, but man, those podcasts are so good.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened to Epstein.
Epstein, he's living off somewhere.
He's alive.
He's alive.
You don't think he's dead?
No.
Do you think he's dead?
Yeah, I thought he was dead. I thought
Man.
someone murdered him.
There's a drone that flies around his pedophile island thing that, he bought that island out somewhere that he owns. And so when they went and raided that thing, there's a drone that was flying around and it was hovering at the windows. And they finally had to cover the windows to get this drone to leave them alone.
That's just some crazy person flying a drone around.
They said that now the gardeners and stuff that are still there that maintain the property, the drone comes back every so often, like to check in on everything, and they throw rocks at it and stuff, and it kind of hovers around, looks through all the windows and stuff, and then flies off. Wow. He's somewhere, and he's still monitoring all this stuff. He's not dead.
Amanda showed me a meme that had Hillary Clinton, and it said, "You're one Epstein joke away from committing suicide."
Well, they ruled his death a homicide.
Oh, I thought it was a suicide.
No, the coroner said it was.
Same one that wrapped himself in barbed wire?
Yeah, probably. He said the medical examiner said someone strangled him to death.
Huh.
And he was murdered.
That's some weird stuff, dude. He knew some big time people
Oh man,
who had reason to kill him.
Oh, there is no question about that.
If you knew all that kind of stuff about me, I'd kill you in a second.
Don't tell me anything ever.
Especially if you were going down.
Don't ever
I
tell
want to
me.
tell you a secret after podcast. Between me and you only.
Oh goodness.
Guess what?
We're out of time.
We're out of time.
We're into Epstein jokes.
You want me
now.
to tell you the secret before or after podcast?
Cut it off. Cut it off.
y'all both get to know one secret.
Why is that
about
drone flying over there?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they'd ruled it a suicide, but they were wondering about his neck being broken the way it was.
I saw several articles posted that said a medical examiner said it was consistent with homicide and murder, that he was strangled. But I mean, I guess I could be wrong.
I have to listen to that last one again, the last episode, but I thought they said it was deemed a suicide. I don't know. But they said they were still going to look into it, so maybe it is an ongoing investigation.
Well, if they look into it, they're going to die.
I don't really know. So I'm even further out of the news because I didn't tell you. I took your advice. I shut down my Facebook app and my Twitter app.
Really?
I hadn't been on it at all. I got on the computer Facebook today because I forget to get on the computer Facebook.
My Facebook on the computer is cool because I have the Facebook news feed eradicator, which means I don't see anybody's posts. All I see is it comes up with a quote, and every time you refresh it, it has an inspirational quote instead of seeing the news feed.
Well, I didn't even give
I'll
it any
get on
thought.
there.
You said I just deleted it off my phone.
Well, I don't have it on my phone at all either.
And I sat down to poop, and I was like, I don't have any idea what to do now.
You don't. Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I'm studying computer programming while sitting on the pooper.
Right. Yeah.
So learning React,
Yeah.
pooping.
There you go. You'll be
All right.
smarter because of it.
Lift Heavy Run Long, number 168 is in the books.
Thanks for